Hello, and welcome to the Ohio Association for College Admissions Counseling Virtual College Fair. We are so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today, and my name is Daisha. I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items to share with you. So first, your microphone and your camera are off, so our panelists will not be able to see or hear you. However, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type any questions you have for our presenters at any time, and they will be able to respond to you directly. This is one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website for any sessions you're interested in attending later today. This presentation is being recorded and it will be available for you later at strivescan.com/Ohio. I would now like to turn it over to our first presenter, the University of Arizona.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. My name is Emily Martinez, and I am the admissions recruiter for the University of Arizona, specifically for you and for your school. So I'm a regional representative. I do live in the Chicagoland area, but I happily serve all of Ohio with your connection to everything Arizona. So I'm just going to jump right in. The University of Arizona was founded in 1885, actually when Arizona wasn't even a state yet, still just a territory. Our main campus is located in Tucson, Arizona. It's a beautiful 1 square mile campus. We have about 35,000 undergraduate students on our campus and another 10,000 graduate students making up our student community. Over 40% of our students come from out of state. We get a lot of students from the Midwest area. In fact, we have students coming from every single state in the US. We also have a very diverse student body with over 44% of our students identifying as diverse. And even though we are a larger university, we are still able to offer a personal educational experience. Class sizes average between 20 and 29 students, and our student to faculty ratio is 15:1. So why do so many students from all over the country and really all over the world choose to study at Arizona? It's because we offer big time opportunities for students in all majors. We are a top tier world-class institution ranked in the top 1% of universities in the world. Arizona is a premier tier 1 research 1 institution and a member of the prestigious Association of American Universities, which is an exclusive club to 65 colleges and universities like Harvard, Yale, UC Berkeley, and the University of Arizona. And we were given that title because we focus on providing research opportunities for students. Of course, we offer countless opportunities for other programs like internships, study abroad, service learning, and more. But we do bring in over $700 billion in research expenditures each year. So plenty of opportunities to get that hands-on experience. And there are other reasons, advantages to being at a big university of our size. We have over 300 different degree programs, which means we literally have just about any program to meet your educational needs. Some of our more popular programs include our nationally top 20 ranked public business college, our nationally recognized engineering programs, as well as our pre-health medical science programs. We have 2 medical schools. We are also nationally known for our dance and fine arts programs. But of course, we have so much more to choose from. At Arizona, we aim to serve and support all learners. Our nationally recognized Strategic Alternative Learning Technique Center, also known as SALT Center, is exclusively available at Arizona. And it is unique offerings are available to students who might need a little extra support making that transition from high school to college or want some more one-on-one attention while studying at Arizona. We don't only have countless academic opportunities, we also have a very active student life. We have over 600 different student clubs and organizations to choose from. And that's what makes our large campus really feel much smaller, really feel like a community. Our student clubs range from academics to leadership, to student government, to special interests, to cultural backgrounds, to Greek life, to athletics and recreation, and everything in between. So you're never going to be bored. There's always something going on our campus. Living on campus is another great way to connect to Arizona and to Tucson. We are unique in that we do not have any housing requirements or restrictions for first-year students. You get to choose if you want to live on or off campus, and if you choose to live on, you also get to choose where. All 23 of our dorms house freshmen through seniors. Arizona is all about making your experience your own, so this is just one small way we're able to make you the most comfortable while studying at Arizona. Again, our main campus is located in Tucson, which is very much a college town. The University of Arizona is definitely the heart of Tucson. There you will find a great art scene, eclectic shops, coffee spots, restaurants, concerts, festivals, and so much more. Plenty of entertainment and social opportunities, but also have your basic amenities. My favorite point to highlight, especially being from the Midwest, is the gorgeous Tucson weather. It's an average full-time temperature of 83 degrees and over 300 days of sunshine. What's not to like about that? Hopefully you are excited to apply if you haven't already. Our application process is very simple. We accept the Common App, a coalition app, or our own online application. We don't require essays. Personal statements are optional. We do not consider recommendation letters. We are also test optional. We are evaluating students on some very specific information. We are required by the state of Arizona to ensure students have completed core course competencies, which is this list of classes you're seeing right now. We evaluate students based on the grades they've earned from these classes, their freshman through junior year, and then making sure they've completed them by the end of their senior year. This coursework and these grades determine your core GPA, which determines really everything, your admissibility and your scholarship eligibility. Merit scholarships for out-of-state students are $1,000 to $35,000 per year, offered for a total of 4 years. No separate application. You're automatically reviewed for these awards when you apply to the university. We are offering both virtual and in-person visits. So whatever way you can connect with us, we want to see you. You can either schedule an on-campus tour through our website, or you can check out the other options we have virtually. We offer webinars and info sessions on a daily basis. We also have virtual tours, a YouTube library full of videos. So please definitely connect with us if you are interested in learning more. That's going to wrap it up for me. Again, my name is Emily Martinez, and I am your admissions recruiter for the University of Arizona. I will be sure to drop my contact information in the chat, but I look forward to connecting with you all again soon.
Thank you, University of Arizona. Our next institution is Arcadia University.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nick Milheim, and I am your admissions counselor from Arcadia University. To start off my presentation, I always like to kind of mention what you guys are looking at on the screen here. So this is Gray Towers Castle. It is definitely the focal point of Arcadia University. Gray Towers Castle is a spot where students can just hang out. There's no specific classrooms in the castle, but it's a spot that our admissions office is. It's where the president's office is. And it actually was built as a family estate originally. So a family of 4 used to live in the castle. I always like to kind of think about like how awesome and intense the hide and seek games would be growing up in a castle. So it's a really, really awesome spot to hang out on campus. All right, a little bit about who we are. Arcadia University, we are located in Glenside, Pennsylvania, and we are part of the greater Philadelphia region. So we are actually only about 25 minutes away from Center City, Philadelphia. Technically, Philadelphia is like right up the road from us, but we're only about 25 minutes from the Center City, Philadelphia to get right downtown. Glenside offers lots of different ways for public transportation. So there's easy ways to get downtown and to the surrounding area. Our train station is less than a mile away from campus. And we also have public transportation and a bus that comes right to the front of the castle as well. That being said, Glenside itself is a really awesome little town that has lots of things to do, shops and restaurants, and lots of ways for students at Arcadia to connect to the Glenside community. So lots to do within our immediate area. I like to kind of say that Arcadia is the best of both worlds and has lots of green spaces on campus, but you still have the city at your disposal. And what's not to love about having a castle on campus? Here at Arcadia, we are about 2,000 undergraduate students. And we're about 1,400 grad students on campus as well. And that puts our average class size, even for first years, at around 14. Our classes are actually capped at 35 students. So you're never going to have more than 35 students in the class with you. But traditionally, your class sizes are going to be around 14, even in your first year classes. I actually just finished up my graduate program at Arcadia. And believe it or not, I had a class where it was just me and the professor one time over the summer. I promise that won't happen to you. It was a little awkward and I had to do my homework really well. But it also says, I think a lot about our faculty and that they're really there for you to help you learn and are dedicated to helping you succeed and making sure you're getting where you need to go. More than 65 fields of study at Arcadia between our undergraduate programs and our award-winning graduate programs. Biology is the most popular major on campus, mostly because of all the pre-professional programs that we offer within our health sciences. And Arcadia is home to a nationally ranked doctorate of physical therapy program, ranked 24th in the nation. Other popular majors include education, psychology, international studies, and international business as well. A little bit about what's going on outside of campus. Or outside of the classroom. Arcadia is Division III athletics. We have 26 varsity sports that we offer. Some of our new sports that were added within the last couple of years is actually men's, women's indoor and outdoor track and field. Men's, women's ice hockey is about to have their inaugural season coming up Halloween weekend, which is super exciting. And we also have an esports team, which is actually a varsity sport here at Arcadia. We have our own esports arena on campus, and we're now up to hosting, I believe, 6 games for esports. So really, really awesome that we've had a lot of growth in our athletic department. That being said, if you're interested in playing something a little more recreationally, there's lots to do with intramurals. We have over 60 clubs and organizations to get involved in. That range kind of everything under the sun, whether it's a social organization, one that's focused on a specific major, honor societies, everything that you can think of, dance groups, lots of ways to get involved. You are guaranteed housing all 4 years that you live on, that you are at Arcadia as well. We do have a 2-year housing requirement for students, but there's a lot of different housing options for you as well. So you have our traditional style residence halls. We do offer suite style residence halls. And we also have apartment style housing that's only about a block away from campus. So even though that's not in that immediate campus loop, it's still considered on campus housing. So you're able to live there as part of the Arcadia community on campus as well. Awesome. So it wouldn't be Arcadia if we didn't talk a little bit about studying abroad. Arcadia has been nationally ranked in study abroad participation for the better part of a decade. We're actually ranked #1 in study abroad participation. And the class of 2020 earned credit in 39 countries overall. So that's almost a quarter of the world that students are going and earning credit while they're here at Arcadia. And there's so many different kinds of opportunities to choose from. It's really just not your basic, like, only can go for a semester and that's it. Here at Arcadia, we have so many different outcomes and so many different opportunities where you can go for as short as like a week-long program, but you can also spend, a full semester. You can even do an internship abroad. We have some 2-week courses as well that you can go abroad for. So there's a ton of different options for you to go. And about 3/4 of our students end up using their passport in some way before they graduate. So it's really something that we try and encourage a lot from our students. That being said, studying abroad is by no means required at Arcadia. It's just something that has been in our DNA for a long time, ever since we were founded as Beeper College. It's something that we really try and promote to our students to take advantage of. There's really no limitations on majors who can go abroad either, even more competitive majors within the sciences and within education as well. We're also really happy about the postgraduate success that our grad students are having, with over 90% of students are securing opportunities within 6 to 9 months of graduation. And you'll have a lot of support here on campus within that as well. Here at Arcadia, we are rolling admissions. We have 2 different options for our application as well, with the Common App and also the Coalition application. There's no fee for applying to either of those. So either one works. We'll need your high school transcript and then 1 letter of recommendation from either a teacher or a counselor. And we are test optional at Arcadia as well. The essay is optional for us, but it is something that I encourage students to submit as well. That being said, I'll wrap up by saying that all students are automatically considered for merit-based scholarships when you apply as well. So there's nothing that you have to do separately to be considered for those. And those range between about $15,000 and $30,000. Thank you so much. I'll be sure to drop my contact information in the chat for you all. And I look forward to answering any questions that you have as well. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Arcadia University. Our next institution is Shawnee State University.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Kelsey Jenkins, and I am the Senior Admissions Representative for Shawnee State University in Portsmouth, Ohio. We are a four-year public institution, and we have one of the lowest tuitions in the state in terms of four-year publics in Ohio. Portsmouth is about an hour and 10 minutes away from Huntington, West Virginia, and right across the river from Kentucky. So we're one of the lowest tuitions in the tri-state area. This slide talks about who we are as an institution. We like to say that we prepare today's students to succeed in tomorrow's world. What we mean by that is we want to make sure that we provide the students all of the resources that they need to be successful. So we do have free tutoring, academic advising, accessibility services, library services. We have a mental health clinic and a health clinic on campus, and we have an office of career services that can do mock interviews, job fairs, career fairs, and they can line you up with a good major based off of a very short survey. If you're not sure what you want to do based off of your skill set and interest to line you up with a good fit that we offer at Shawnee State. This is the slide that I'm going to spend the most time on. In terms of academic programs, we are nationally ranked in video game design. So if you're interested in game design, we actually have two separate game design programs. One's a bachelor's degree in engineering, which focuses on the programming, coding, computer science side of gaming. And one is a bachelor's degree in fine arts, which focuses on the sort of the front of the house, sound design, animation, graphic design side of gaming. Both are very, very popular. Everything on campus has been completely renovated. We have a brand new pool, workout room for our students, video game labs, business, engineering technologies, health sciences, and housing has all been completely renovated. So our other popular majors are health sciences, pre-med, business, fine arts, social sciences, and natural sciences degrees. We have over 85 majors to choose from. We like to say that we are a private school feel at a public school cost. What we mean by that is we have about 3,400 total students. So class sizes are relatively small for a public school. So you get the best of both worlds of small personal education, one-on-one time with your professors. You'll definitely get to stand out at Shawnee State, but for a very affordable price. We do have apartment style housing, study abroad opportunities, and we are a military friendly institution. In terms of athletics, we're Division I NAIA, so we do offer athletic scholarships. If you're interested in athletics, I will leave my contact information in the chat room. Just let me reach out to me and I can get you connected with our coaches. Our men's basketball team just won the national championship this past March, so we're very proud of them. And in terms of student life, we have sororities, fraternities, and over 50 clubs and organizations to participate in on campus. Again, with the student-focused support, we would just like to make sure that you have all of the resources that you need to be successful. So we have free tutoring in all of our subjects. We have a math lab on campus as well as a writing center if you don't necessarily think that you need a tutor, but would like to go brush up on some skills or get some additional resources in those subjects. Academic advising, you'll be assigned an academic advisor just to meet with once a semester. If you want to change your schedule, change your major, or have any questions, they can work with you. Again, here are some fun photos of events we've had on campus. We do have our Student Government Association, which works directly with our Board of Trustees. Our Student Programming Board, they like to make sure that there's always events for students to be involved in on campus, so you'll never be bored at Shawnee State. They do movie nights, game nights. They put on our homecoming dance and our big weekend of welcome before the freshmen start class that Monday. So here is the application process. It is always free to apply to Shawnee State. So I always recommend at least applying. Does not commit you to Shawnee State, but it does allow us to put together your financial aid package. So apply on our website, or we're also on the Common App. And in terms of scholarship, as long as you apply by December 1st, you are locking in all the scholarships you're eligible for. We are test recommended. What we mean by that is we are an open access institution, so we do not turn away students based off of GPA or ACT or SAT scores, but we do recommend that you submit them. If not, we can offer a free placement test that can be taken remotely for admission and scholarships. Here's the scholarship matrix that we offer. As you can see, if you do choose to submit your test scores to us, we start offering merit-based scholarships at a 3.2 GPA and congruent with an ACT or SAT score of 21 and up. The higher the ACT score and the GPA, the higher the scholarship amount. And here is the scholarship matrix based off of the placement test if you choose to opt into taking the placement test instead. One of our biggest assets on campus is our apartment style housing. So it is not the traditional dormitories that have 2 beds crammed in a shower hall. We have full apartments for our students, even for freshmen. So you can always have a car on campus. The apartments are full kitchens, cable, Wi-Fi. They're already fully furnished. They're within walking distance to campus. We have a super safe campus, a super clean campus. What's nice about the housing is there are private showers and full kitchens into the apartments, and we have freshman housing, apartment style as well, and then we have some upperclassmen housing. And the last thing that I will touch on here is to stay connected. We are offering in-person visits, so you can schedule those online to come take the campus tour, housing tour, if you wanted to meet with a specific coach or program director in the program that you're interested in. You can note that in your visit when you schedule it so that we can make the most of your visit. But we will be having some virtual options as well. We are SSU Admission on all of our social media. You can check out some promotions for events that we'll be having on campus, financial aid sessions. So if you have any questions, my name is Kelsey Jenkins, and I will definitely leave some information in the chat for how to reach me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shawnee State University. As a quick reminder, you can share any questions you have for our panelists using the Q&A button on your screen, so feel free to send those over at any point in time. Our next institution is Johns Hopkins University.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Daisha. So I'm going to share my screen right now. And hello, everyone. Greetings from Baltimore. My name is Maria Teresa Foster, and I am one of our admissions committee members here at Johns Hopkins University. Here at Hopkins, we were founded on the mission to create new knowledge for the world. And so when we were founded back in 1876, it was really anchored us in that mission to create new knowledge. Really, our institutional identity is really based in the pillars of academic freedom, diversity of thought, and support for new ideas. And so here, and as a member of our community, you really have access to that open liberal arts-based curriculum that really enables our students to craft a 4-year schedule that is really aligns with their unique goals and really their unique passions as they think about their unique academic interests. And so because we are one university system, our students are really able to double major across undergraduate schools. And so here at Hopkins, those classroom conversations are really dynamic. Students really from across the university are taking classes that they've self-selected into. And so there's a really great opportunity for our students to really craft a schedule that aligns with their interests and their goals for after graduation. Our average class size is around 24. So we are a mid-sized institution with around 5,300 undergraduate students. And so it really enables you to have not only really engaged classroom conversations, but it also means that for our students, they have a 7-to-1 student-faculty ratio. I mentioned that, these classroom conversations are really dynamic, and because of that one university system that's really based in that liberal arts style of education, our students are really able to not only learn perspectives from our students that are coming from all across the country and all across the globe, but we really believe that by bringing global perspectives to our campus, it really leads to larger impacts on human advancement and really enables our students to gain so many skills like collaboration through those experiences. Here at Hopkins, we want our students not only to take what they're learning inside of the classroom in their courses, but also apply it in a real world way. And so 98% of our students will have some kind of pre-professional experience before their graduation. And so while a third of our students will go abroad and 85% of our students will have at least one internship, 80% of our students will conduct research here. Research is really at the core of who we are, really thinking back to that mission to create new knowledge. But here at Hopkins, you have the institutional support to do so. For over 40 years, we have really been the leading research university for research investment. So our institution invests $2.56 billion annually just on research experiences for our students. And so that means as a Hopkins undergraduate, you have access to the breadth and the depth of the Hopkins really environment in the Hopkins network. So students, research is happening in every single part of our university and every single academic discipline. So whether you want to do neuroscience research or tissue engineering research within the Hopkins Medical Network, or doing humanities research in our rare books collections, you really have open access to that with the support of our Hopkins Office for Undergraduate Research, which not only connects our students to those opportunities, but also runs a ton of independent grant programming with our faculty members. So we really have that support for students' new ideas. And so many of our institutes are located here in Baltimore City. So such as our Carey School of Business, our Peabody Institute, our Bloomberg School of Public Health, which is the #1 public health school in the world. They've led a lot of the research around the COVID-19 dashboard, but Baltimore is our home here. You know, part of being a Hopkins student is also being a citizen of Baltimore and the Homewood campus. So here in Baltimore, we have 200 plus unique neighborhoods that really enable our students to become the citizens of Baltimore, whether it's through engagement in the arts. The Baltimore Museum of Arts is actually right next to our admissions office, or through civic engagement and service opportunities, and really opportunities to become, again, those citizens of Baltimore. So our students are showing initiative and making an impact in our home in Baltimore, but we have 5,300 undergraduate students who really make an impact through our 350 plus student organization. So for our students, really pairing that academic freedom, that diversity of thought, and that support for new ideas really enables our students to really achieve their goals for after graduation. And so our Life Design Lab and our pre-professional advising office works really closely with our students starting in their first year to help them identify job shadowing opportunities and career opportunities within our networks to really achieve those goals. 97% of our students are in full-time employment or pursuing graduate school within 6 months of graduation. And so the last thing I will leave you all with is just some information around admissions and financial aid here at Hopkins. We are a need-blind institution, and so our admissions committee doesn't see a student's ability to pay or their financial situation for U.S. citizens, U.S. permanent residents, DACA, and undocumented students. However, for all students, regardless of their citizenship status, we do guarantee to meet 100% of demonstrated need. So if there's a gap between that family contribution number and that total cost of attendance, we guarantee to meet 100% of that without student loans. And so we are a no-loan institution. So check out the net price calculator and the My Intuition quick cost estimator on our websites. And then for our students, if you have any questions or curiosities about our community here at Hopkins, don't hesitate to connect with me. I'll put my contact information in the chat. And so thank you all.
Thank you, Johns Hopkins University. Our next institution is the University of Wisconsin, Parkside.
Sorry, lost my mute button there for a second. Hello, y'all. Again, thank y'all for joining us this evening. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about the University of Wisconsin, Parkside. The first thing I love to touch on is our location. So we're located in Kenosha, Wisconsin, which is right along the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. So we're about 35 minutes south of Milwaukee and about an hour north of Chicago. So although we have a pretty good sized city ourselves, there are two amazingly big cities not too far away. We're also located only 5 minutes from the beautiful Lake Michigan. But our campus itself sits on 700 acres of serene parkland, so we kind of exist in our own little oasis. Our student body sits around 4,400 students, so you'll always be able to find your place at Parkside. Some majors that we offer here at Parkside that I love to touch on are going to be our theater arts, computer science, our pre-health programs, criminal justice, our sports management, and our teacher education. What's really unique about all those programs I just listed is our high placement rates, either into professional schools like grad school or job placement upon graduation. As I mentioned, our student body size is pretty small, which allows us to have a student to faculty ratio of 17:1, and our average class size is around 15 to 18 students. So what this really means is your professor will know your name, they'll know who you are, and they will appreciate you as a student. Another reason for this is because 100% of our classes are taught by our professors. The same person teaching your class will be grading your assignments and hosting open office hours for you to visit them. We are also the only Division II athletic school in the state of Wisconsin, and that's something we are super, super proud of. Being a Division II school allows you to have a balance between being an athlete and being a student, as well as we're able to offer some competitive athletic scholarships. If you're interested in becoming a student athlete, please reach out to us. We'll get you in contact with any of our coaches. Alrighty, so being a well-rounded student. So not only getting involved on campus with our over 40 student organizations, we have events quite frequently. This week, I know they had an escape room that was super exciting. A lot of students were wanting to attend, and then we had like a foam glow-in-the-dark party as well. So we like to keep students engaged on campus, but we also like to connect you to opportunities outside of campus. Our study abroad program has a big draw for a lot of our students, and we study in over 40 different countries. Internships are super big. Being located in that Milwaukee-Chicago corridor really allows us to be able to be connected to a lot of businesses and offer a plethora of internship opportunities. So like I said, more than 500 internships are offered to our students every single year, but we also have community-based learning projects. So these projects are a part of your coursework. So in your classes, you'll be going out into the community and, developing. So say you're a marketing class, you'll partner with a community organization and maybe develop a strategic social media plan to increase their customer base. So you get to be hands-on in your classes really early on. And it also is a beautiful resume builder as well. On Parkside, we are a residential campus, so we do have 3 different resident options to choose from: Pike River Suites, Ranger Hall, and then our university apartments. Pike River Suites is our newest building. The ceilings are so tall, I feel tiny in the rooms, which tends to not be the case when you go on college campuses, so I always love to share that. So, big question, how do you become a Ranger? So our online application is free, and we are ACT, SAT test optional as well. So all of the University of Wisconsin schools use this application here listed at this website. So you can apply to any of our schools there. And the biggest thing I love to touch on is just as long as you're accepted before February 1st, you're eligible for our scholarships. So not only are we already a pretty affordable school for in-state and out-of-state students, we offer an out-of-state scholars program. So as long as you have a qualifying GPA, you're guaranteed a scholarship renewable for all 4 years you're at Parkside. We also can offer those academic and athletic scholarships on top of that. And of course, our financial aid office works diligently to help students afford school. That's all I have for you today. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, UW-Parkside. Our final institution is Edinboro University of Pennsylvania.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ariel Phillips. I am with Edinboro University of Pennsylvania. We are located about 15 minutes south of Erie, Pennsylvania, with around 2 hours away from Cleveland, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh. So it puts us at a nice central location for those big major areas. We are a small school with about 4,000 students, 3,000 of those being our undergrad population. What this means is smaller class sizes for you. Our average class size is around 25, 35 students with a 13-to-1, 15-to-1 student-teacher ratio. What this means is you really get to know your professors, the other people within your program, and you're not just a number. As a 2-time alum within my undergraduate degree, I had the opportunity that I presented at least 4 or 5 national conferences and developed really good relationships with a lot of my professors. So at Edinboro, we have about 100 different majors. Some of our bigger ones are going to be our art. We are known for being Pennsylvania's largest state school with an art program. We have 15 different concentrations: animation, printmaking, woodworking, tons of different options there for you. We're also big in the biology and health sciences. We have a lot of the pre-professional degrees: pre-med, pre-dental, pre-physical therapy, occupational therapy, and pre-vet as well. Education is going to be another big one for us. We started as a teacher's college when we were first founded. We've kept that tradition. We have early childhood, elementary ed, secondary education, special education, health and physical education, as well as a new deaf and hearing sciences degree within our early childhood education program, which is super neat for us. We also are big in math and computer sciences with our cybersecurity program, as well as our virtual world and media design, business as well with a 4+1 option there. We have an MBA, which means you could potentially have your bachelor's, master's in and out in 5 years. And then about 15% of our 35% of our students do come in as undeclared. So we do have resources to kind of help you navigate that route. We know as 17 and 18-year-olds, you may not know exactly what you want to do, and we don't expect you to know exactly what you want to do. We just want you to feel at home and have those options there for you. Again, some of the numbers for us, about 19% of our students are within our art program. Again, the animation and cinema being the largest, then education, biology and health sciences. Our nursing program is another really good one for you. We actually have STEM labs on campus, so students get a lot of hands-on experience right off the bat. You start clinical second semester, so again, a lot of lived and learned experience, business, computer science, speech and hearing, and psychology as well. So the academic parts is why you're at college. It's why you're there. It's your job. It's for you to get on with your life. But we also know that you want something to do outside of the classroom to keep yourself entertained and happy. With at Edinboro, we have over 140 different clubs and organizations. We like to say we have a little bit of something for everyone, everything from intramural sports, club teams, student government organizations, social and academic and professional Greek organizations, campus ministry. One of our big clubs is going to be our campus outdoor recreational experience, which is called CORE. 2 weeks ago, they went skydiving. They do a little bit of everything with the outdoor stuff, so it gives students a lot of opportunities there. We also have 19 varsity sports, 16 Division II, one being Division I, which is our wrestling. Students that are athletes, I highly encourage you to reach out to those coaches. If you go on our website to the athletics tab, they're really, really good with getting back to students as it comes to recruitment needs, because again, the joy with us being Division II and I is that there are scholarship components there for you. We also have an esports league as well as a wheelchair basketball team, which is fairly unique for us. For housing, I have two different options for you. We have our traditional housing, which we call our Lawrence Tower A. It's the as seen on TV, cinder block looking rooms. The caveat to that building is that there is a pet friendly floor. So if you have a small cat, dog, you're very much a pet friendly campus, you can have that animal with you. We also have our Highlands, which are going to be the apartment style housing. The most amount of people in those communal areas is 4 people. There are about 6 different options of apartment styles to choose from, so tons of options. Some have 4 bedrooms, some have 2, some have 1 bathroom, some there's 2. Again, tons of different options for you. We do guarantee housing for all 4 years, so that is also an option for students. So how to become a Fighting Scot and apply to Edinboro. Our application is open on our app as well as the Common App. We are under rolling admissions, but there are a couple dates to kind of keep in mind. November 1 is going to be that early action deadline, and February 1 is that freshman priority deadline. We like to say with admissions that the early bird catches the worm. So these deadlines are here to keep you on target and on goal, so that way you're getting the most scholarships and financial aid that can be afforded to you. So our admissions requirements, all you have to do is complete the application and submit any and all transcripts. We are test optional, so we don't require students to have the SAT or ACT. What I like to tell my students is if you did very well and you love your sport, go ahead and send it. If you took it and you're not crazy on it, it's fine to keep it to yourself. Because what we do is we look at those QPAs with those possible test scores to evaluate you for a scholarship package. Also, we do have a $35 application fee. However, I am giving you the fee waiver code today, and I will put that in the chat box once I'm done, so you have that as well with my contact info. So one of the great things we've been able to do is we've been able to award merit-based scholarships. Just from applying with receiving your transcripts and such, we're able to offer incoming freshmen anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000 renewable for up to 4 years. This starts at a 3.0 and up. We also have an honors college, which comes with tons of benefits, which also includes an additional $1,500 in scholarships. So again, tons of opportunities there for students to succeed and get that free money. Again, here is my contact information. I'm Ariel. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out, and I'll throw that fee waiver code in there for you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Edinboro University of Pennsylvania. I would now like to invite all of our panelists to join me on video for a brief Q&A. And I'd like to note that the University of Arizona would have loved to participate in this, but they had to step out early. So the question I'd like to pose to you all is, what advice would you give to someone going through the college search process?
Do you want us to go in order or just pop in? Sorry.
You can just popcorn it.
My advice would be to ask questions. All of us here on this call and all of the schools that you're looking at we're like here for you. There's never a dumb question. I'm sure you hear it all the time, but there really isn't. We're the pros like when it comes to this stuff. So we want to share our knowledge with you to help make it as smooth and as easy as possible. So definitely ask questions would be my number one piece of advice.
I would say the biggest thing is to make sure to do your research, visit campuses, see which ones you feel at home at. You may love a campus in theory, then get there and go, you know what, I can't see myself here. And that's fine, especially if you're a junior or younger. Start doing that research, make a list of 10 schools you want to visit, and then that senior summer, go see your top 3. Because the biggest thing is this is going to be your home for the next 4 years. So you want to make sure that you feel at home there. So don't feel afraid to just visit as many as you can.
Kind of going off those points, I love those points, y'all. I really encourage students, all of y'all that are out there, to really think about, visiting and getting to know those communities, but also thinking about those schools that are really the best match for you academically. Do you see yourself in those classrooms? To socially, being engaged on those campuses and in those communities, but also thinking about the best financial match for you. So thinking about all the elements of that match piece.
For me, I would say to definitely visit campus, visit as many campuses as you can, small ones, large ones, mid-sized campuses, so that you get a feel for everything and kind of know what you're looking for in an institution. And the second is don't be afraid for how many schools you apply to, because that does definitely not commit you to the institution. It's just kind of taking that first step.
Yes, my piece of advice kind of echoes what everyone has said, visiting, but really a lot of admissions offices allow you to get in touch with current students and ask them questions. They are experts. They live there, they experience it every single day, and they love questions. So get in touch with as many current students as you can while you're on campus.
Awesome. Another question I have for you, and it's a fun one. What is one thing you would like students to remember about your college or university?
So I guess one thing, it's kind of a fun fact. We are Scottish in heritage, so our fight song is played with bagpipes. So that's something you don't see super common, and it becomes a love-or-hate relationship. It's 8 o'clock in the morning on a football Saturday, and you hear bagpipes. With that, we also do, it's called the Scottish Games, and it is traditional Scottish food, music, all kinds of stuff. And then you see giant dudes lifting big boulders and throwing tree logs. So like that's a tradition that is super familiar to us. Sorry, emergency weather alert. And super neat to learn about Edinboro.
Mine would just be our location. So I'm actually from Ohio. I grew up in Ohio and moved to Wisconsin. Wisconsin seems like one of those states where you're like, I mean, there's cheese and what else? But like I said, we're located between 2 amazing cities in Lake Michigan. It feels like an ocean. So just this location is just super cool.
For us, I mentioned it many times during my presentation, would be the castle on campus. It never gets old, no matter how many times you're there and hang out. And with it being like spooky season, we actually do like ghost tours in the castle that's run by a student organization on campus. So that's really fun. I prefer to leave the ghosts alone. I keep my distance and stuff, but it's a really fun event that our students put on.
For Shawnee State, it's just definitely the sense of community that we all have as an institution. The faculty is super close, our students, all of our staff. You're definitely going to feel at home and find your sense of community within your organization or the institution itself.
For us here at Hopkins, I encourage y'all to think about the academic flexibility here. We don't have core requirements in our curriculum, so you really have that opportunity to craft a schedule that aligns with your interests. You can double major, like 65% of our students will, with the double minors too. So support for new ideas, diversity of thought, and academic flexibility.
Awesome. Wonderful things about each of your institutions there. I'd like to thank you all for joining us to share some information about your schools. And we are running low on time, so I'd like to share one final slide with our guests before we wrap up. So thank you to everyone who joined us live, as well as those who are watching on demand. For our live viewers, when you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We appreciate any feedback you can provide. We encourage you to check back on the schedule and sign up for more sessions. You'll be able to find the recording for this session, as well as all other session recordings at strivescan.com/Ohio. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.